Okay, so what is going on? He's got a good question, I think.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be the semi-official launch of Wild and Weird Radio. We've been piecing this together now for, gosh, over a year, and all the parts are in place, and we figured now is as good a time as any to go ahead and kick it off.
Yeah, we've been kind of bored, so and
Kind of bored. Understatement of the quarantine.
figure that might be a good thing, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a good time to start it off, and I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions and whatnot, and we are going to have a third member, right? I mean, that's the
Yep.
whole
We
point of
have
this.
Wayne Barnes joining us from BSI Investigations. And we met Wayne actually on the road. He is a fellow vendor at some of these cryptid events. And that's how we met Wayne. And he kind of became part of the family. He brings a ton of information and knowledge into this. And it's going to be fun. Plus,
Yeah,
he's also like the wisecracker of the group.
oh yeah, he really is. I'm pretty sure that he's going to have a lot of things to say as
Yeah.
well. He's really going to probably inject quite a bit of humor into the whole thing as well. And who knows? Maybe he'll keep us from fighting so much. So possible. I don't know. Maybe we do tend to disagree, and that's okay.
But that's what's good though. That's one of the things that's good, especially in this field. You don't see that a whole lot in a healthy way. You
I'm
see it a
not looking
lot.
for I'm not looking for a yes man. I'm not looking for somebody who says, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're 100% right." No, I don't want to be 100% right, and there's a lot of times I'm not 100% right, if any.
Except for the fact that David Wilcox is crazy.
Well,
You're 100% right with that.
okay, okay. Let's go through some questions. I know that there's some questions. The number one question: what is Wild and Weird Radio?
Well, to me, and I think this is something that we both need to answer, and we'll get Wayne to chime in on it when we record with him too. But to me, I feel like Wild and Weird Radio is going to be a grab bag radio show. Um, we want it to be, I know that this is something you and I both talked about. We want it to be organic. We don't want it to be solely focused in one direction or another. We actually want to be able to have conversations and get to know some of you people, and you guys get to know us. And even though we have interests in the field and in certain fields of study, there's more to that person beyond that field of study, and there's more to us beyond that field of study.
I think that's a pretty
Um,
good answer, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty much what it is. It's going to be everywhere. We're not going to be focusing just on one thing. I think that's something that needs to be addressed. Not only are we not going to be focusing on one thing, that was cute. We're not going to be
yeah,
focusing
right.
on one thing. We are not probably going to be remotely agreeing on every single thing.
No,
And
yeah,
I think that that's going to be one of the better parts of it, honestly.
I think
Uh,
so too, because it's going to bring conversation into the room that needs to be had,
yeah, I
that
think
gets
so too.
skirted around, especially at conventions. It gets it's a lot of the fringe area stuff gets skirted around, and people avoid it for whatever reason. But those are some of the things that we find the most interesting. Yeah, so I think that'll be good.
Yeah, so what we're saying is we'll probably get off into a lot of tangents.
Yeah,
That
there will
happens
be.
with us. We may start talking about, aliens, and we may end up talking about a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, but we'll
That can
connect the
happen.
dots. Some people that were asking, what was this going to be, an interview show? Was it going to be a account telling show where witnesses come to it? Or if this was going to be a discussion show, or like a kind of like an opinion show.
I can answer
And
this one too. I can
yeah,
answer
yeah, go
this
for it.
one. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes to all.
Yeah,
Um,
all the above. This is one of those all the above
yeah,
shows. There will be episodes, I swear, that you will go home and you will think, wow, this is amazing. And there'll be other episodes you're like, what did I just listen to?
yeah, there
And
will be because
and that's going to
we have those
happen.
moments after conversations that we've had.
Yeah, we really do. So you can expect that. That's going to happen. So if you're prepared for that ride, then we are going to welcome you in on that ride. Hey, good news. We have original theme music done by David Roberts and members of Relics, my band.
So I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Uh, yeah, so it's amazing. I got to hear some of it. Dave's just an amazing musician, actually, and he works on some of the best ambient stuff you're ever going to hear. I basically just went to Dave and said, Dave, I'm going to do a podcast and we need some theme music, and he said, how much? And I said, well, I need some for like pieces that we could just throw in there, just loop something. He comes back to me a week or two later and says, I got 40 minutes. How's that?
40 minutes. That'll give us enough to use for a long time.
It's like, well, Dave, I don't know. Maybe we need like 160 hours worth. I don't know, but no, he did that, and that was without really even I haven't even I got to hear it, but I did not get to partake in actually creating any for this. We will be doing that on some parts, but Dave's got us as far as our background music is going to go and whatnot. So he's got a.
One of the other questions was this going to be a video style or audio style? I just remembered that one. Sorry about that. And the answer to that is it's going to be kind of both. Not all episodes will have video content. The majority of what we do is going to be strictly audio.
Yeah.
It's going to be in a podcast
format. Yeah.
But we'll be streaming it over to our YouTube channel. And there will be certain videos, like if we do one, for example, on Bigfoot track castings or some actual physical evidence sort of scenarios, then yes, we'll probably have a video at that point. Or if there's something specific that we want to show you guys, we'll do some video. But for the most part, it will be audio.
So yeah, we've got over 1,000 some people on our little group now, which is amazing. We're happy about that. I couldn't have expected such a thing. Remember, we do approve everyone. We have to approve everyone who wants to join up there.
Yeah.
It does take a little bit of time sometimes. So if we don't get to you right away, sometimes we're asleep.
Asleep or feeding a baby or trying to put a baby to sleep. You name it.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Some of us do still do things, but the thing being, we will get to you. Just answer these questions. I think it's like 3 questions now. Is that what there is, Joe? I think it's just 3 questions.
I think it's just a 3.
It's just 3. I try to make them very simple, and they just agree to the rules, and we'll put you in there just like that, and then. Understand, zero tolerance site, and that's one of the reasons we are as popular as we are with our site. Just lost your video. There you are. Hey, you're back.
Okay. And for whatever reason, I just saw my little blue light go bloop and then come back on.
Weird. Anyway, so we do watch it. We do make sure that there's no, crazy stuff going on. You guys aren't being bombarded with spam and, a bunch of
ads and all kinds of other stuff.
Correct. Now, here's what else you may notice. Sometimes there are ads and sometimes there are some promotions on there. Well, those are usually from people who promote us. And that's how it works with us. It's not that
very quid pro quo.
Yeah, really much. It is. This is this is a group. We're not, sure, we want to promote ourselves. Yeah, we do. But we want to promote you too. And that's a two-way street. We've been doing this for years, and in everything we've done, we've always tried to keep a continuity, almost a brotherhood kind of feel to everything that we do. We grow communities, and it's no different here. We're going to grow a community. I don't know what else to say about that, really. It's just
it's If you have a page, or you have a movie or talk show or anything, if you want to advertise on the Wild and Weird talk page, all you have to do is advertise the Wild and Weird talk page.
Follow and share the group, because that's what it's about.
We're about growing a community, and if you want to grow your group,
your brand,
the West Virginia High Strangeness Collective, that is an organization that we have kind of put together to go out and investigate happenings in West Virginia. Currently, we're in West Virginia only, but this model is something that isn't just for individuals. If you have a group, like if you were part of, say, a ghost hunting crew, and you already have your own team, you and your entire team can be a part of the collective, because what the collective is a well of knowledge and resources. There are things that we might have that you could use. There are things that you might have that we might need. And it just works all as one unit towards a common goal, but you all get to keep your individuality. You all get to work independently from this, but we share data. We share contacts. We share all of the information that we have to move forward as one group to find the truth.
People who can go out and look for ground traces. We've got people who are better at recording data and compiling data, and everyone benefits from it. That's the goal, anyway. So
yep, everyone benefits. Everyone moves forward, and the biggest benefit, hands down, to this collective is corroboration. You will no longer have to be the lone investigator trying to shout from the rooftops that this is what you found. You can share this data with other people. Other people can look into it and corroborate your data and be like, yes, this is legitimate, blah, 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 what have you.
And let's be real, so by the collective, you also are referring to not just standard hobbyists. We have some really good people who have come along and joined us. So
we do. We have some very, very recognized names that are already a part of the collective, and they're nationally recognized people. A couple of them that I can think of off the top of my head are actually globally recognized people, and they are part of our collective. And it is truly that. It is ours, all of us
together,
collective. It is not a Wild and Weird West Virginia venture. This is actually something that belongs to all of us. It just so happens that we are the founders of it as Wild and Weird West Virginia, but it is not a arm or a component of what we do outside of the collective.
No, this will be completely separate when it comes to that. We'll discuss it from time to time on our talk. We'll discuss it from time to time on our group, but it is not. It is not. It doesn't stay there. It lives in its own home. It lives in its own place, and it'll have a whole separate area for that.
We've been compiling an email list of people who want to join, and once we launch the official page for that, it will be a closed group.
Yeah.
But once we launch the page for that, we will send a link to everybody that we have an email for. That way we can all get on the same page. And we will also create a Google Teams layout as well. So that way we can share files and data that way through Google Drive. Also, Wild and Weird Con, November 6th and 7th. That's Friday the 6th, Saturday the 7th. If you generate enough interest, we actually can extend this to the 8th, but we have to see that interest coming from you guys. Currently, it's just the special event on the 6th with Dave Spinks, limited amount still. Everybody who's already paid has followed forward. If there's some reason that some of you won't be able to make it to that special event, just let us know and we'll take care of you.
All of our vendors, my God, you guys, wow, didn't expect it at all. Our vendors and our guests who had already, prepaid, you guys were unbelievable. Just the way that you stayed with us, and
it was a seamless transition.
And our guests, they all we had a one group call
within minutes,
and within minutes it was yes. And
everybody checked their calendars. Their weekend was open, and they made sure that they were going to be able to be there.
It was just so amazing. You guys are just, always say it, and I think that they always think I'm just saying it to get likes, but I'm not. Really are. It's an amazing group. We have an amazing group of people.
Yep, we do.
I'm very happy about it. So, So everything that you said, everything from Wild and Weird Con is still going on. I've had some people who have contacted me off-site and said, "Oh, sorry to hear Wild and Weird Con got canceled." It's like, no, didn't get canceled.
Did not get canceled.
Got rescheduled, and it got rescheduled pretty far back. So, we're looking for this to be a good time.
We wanted to schedule out a date that was far enough out that all of the suspected quarantine release dates would have well been passed by then. And the only date that we were originally looking for around the September timeframe, and the only date that was open with the parks was the weekend of the 6th, 7th, and 8th. That was our only option other than the weekend before Christmas. And that'd be a no-go for everybody almost.
Well, that's a no-go for me because I really hate the cold. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like you guys. In that area. And it's cold in November too, but you know what? That's okay. We can do this. We can get through this, and then hopefully, next year we can get it back to spring. Wild and Weird production labs have not stopped.
We've been going crazy. It's been fun.
Yeah. So our next big deal will be the Wild and Weird radio, and it's going to be fun. If you haven't guessed. It'll be wild. It'll be weird. It'll be boring, and it'll be fun all at the same time. How's that? That make it? That's good, right? I've covered it all.
It won't be too boring. We want you guys to listen. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining.
We hope it's
going to be educational.
There's no way it's going to be boring. No, it won't be. If Wayne's there, though, I can promise you it won't be boring.
It won't be boring.
It won't be. He won't let it be boring.
Nope. And we definitely want this to be an educational thing. We want to learn along with you guys. We want to know some of the topics that you guys are interested in us tackling or bringing onto the show, and some things that you might want to hear our viewpoints, because we have been researching this stuff for a very long time. We're not new to this genre, but Wild and Weird might be new-ish. Like, we've been around now. This is going on our third year.
I don't know. Third.
3 years. 3 years. Yeah, we're in our third year. But Ron and I have been into this stuff for a lot longer than that. Ron has been in this stuff way longer than that.
I think it's somewhere around 10,000 years at this point.
Yeah. Maybe. So we've had that. We've put our time in a lot of areas, and it just kind of culminated into Wild and Weird, and now it's coming into the podcast, and you guys get to hear some of the stuff. There's a big announcement that we can't make yet. Just be aware of that. But it should be coming soon-ish. But here's a hint: you won't hear the announcement first from us. It'll come from somewhere else really cool. But just stay tuned for a really wild and weird announcement. And you might hear more about that stuff later down the road with Wild and Weird Radio.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool things that are going to happen with Wild and Weird Radio. And just the amount of people that we've met along the way who have helped us. It's just, you can't say thank you to people like that. It's because that's just kind of, that's not enough.
No.
And that it all ends up where it's at is just crazy. Because
and then some of the people that people would hear you saying thank you to, they'd be like, "Yeah, no, you don't know them."
It's true.
And then you're like, "Well, okay."
But You know, what I can say is, I don't know. I think our first episode. We will talk about our first episode. Let's talk about our first episode because we do know
Okay.
what episode one is
We know
going to
what.
be about.
Yeah, we know what episode
Episode,
one's going to consist of.
we are at the heart of it, a bunch of geeks. All right.
Yes.
Me and Joe are comic book geeks and sci-fi geeks. It is true.
Yep.
So you're gonna recognize this. Every great story in our books has an origin story, and that's
Yep.
that's what episode one will be.
Episode one will be the origin.
Yeah, it'll be the origin stories.
And you'll probably get a little bit. It'll be a little condensed. It'll be kind of like the Campbell's condensed version of each of our origin and how we got into this whole field to begin with. And I think by the end of episode one, you'll have a pretty good understanding of where we're at and where we're going based off of the origin stories.
Yeah.
Fallen Worlds
is still go.
Fallen Worlds is actually going to be a series now, guys. We are working on a book. And we're working on a lot of other stuff to go around with it. And in the process of actually doing this research for the last 2 years, just in this specific vein, it has taken us far more than what we could ever do with just examining the Adena and Hopewell and Fort Ancient cultures in the Ohio River Valley and the Kanawha River Valley. And Fallen Worlds became the title of a series now. A series that we will begin expanding on now, really. The first installment is called Chasing Giants. And that is where we delve into the mound builders and the story of the mound builders and a lot of the mystery of the mound builders and getting into some speculation of how they came about. So we're going to be tackling a lot of those topics in the book and in presentations, where you're actually going to have video presentation that will go along with this kind of stuff. And it's going to be really cool. And like I said, the series just starts here.
Yeah.
There's going to be an expansion, and it goes into the next level and follows First Nation culture's growth and development from an origin point, kind of how we were talking earlier. It follows from an origin point and forward into where we're at today and what kind of significance that holds and the implications that holds on today.
It asks a lot of questions. It
asks a lot of questions and has the ability to completely upend a lot of belief systems. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm saying belief systems, like things that history might believe or things that science might believe. It can, we're just going to leave it at that for right now because it goes too deep.
It goes too deep down the rabbit hole.
It does.
It's a whole episode on its own, and it
all started because of one artifact. So for now, I think that wraps it up. Yeah. Stay tuned because odds are next week, early next week to middle of next week, you guys could have your very first episode of Wild and Weird Radio. So until then.
Well, it'll be recorded by then, right? That's the plan.
It'll be recorded this weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the plan.
So anyway, everyone, stay wild, stay weird, stay safe, and all that fun stuff. And we're going to see you out there really soon.